Hi, Pranam everybody. Can you all see me? Just let me know if you can see me. Hi, hi. So I can see Shivo. So Pranam to Shivo. He is my Astro Guru, and I really owe this session to him and his guidance, and to our Quanto tribe. Quanto. I see Kavita. Hi, Kavita. I see Nasreen after a really long time. Hi, Nasreen. And my soul sister Archana and my classmate Vinay. Is the voice okay? Is the sound okay? Are we ready to go? Can someone just tell me about the sound? Is the sound okay? Okay. So I guess I started this post by asking you all that whether you all have been feeling some unnerving energies. Have you all been coming across some unexpected debacles in your life, some unexpected obstacles? And if it is so, it is because of the Saturn Ketu energy. So today we're going to be discussing what it is about. I asked this question to a lot of our friends, and they gave me a variety of answers. A lot of people said they had been getting some unexpected obstacles, or they had been suddenly something, they would feel this very uncomfortable energy. Some examples are a friend of mine who's a founder of an NGO, a non-profit. He's doing great work, very well, very popular, very much loved and acclaimed. And he was called by his office HR, and they told him that, you're collecting money from your colleagues, and that is a conflict of interest. And this was totally unexpected, huge obstacle, and it went well, but this kind of obstacle came up. One of our friends who's here shared that she has been feeling this kind of energy, and she was at a flight and she was probably late or something, and the captain could still take her in, but he didn't, and she missed the flight. So again, this kind of unnerving energy is taking place. Another example, I heard that, one of our friends, she was at a PTA meeting and the situation got so bad, and it is because she remembered that this kind of energy is playing around. She was able to maintain extra cool and extra go into observation, and she was able to see that thing past. Otherwise, she would be embroiled in a bigger mess. So, and then on a personal front, I actually had a sprain about 4 weeks ago, and it hurt. And I got different opinions from everyone that if you can walk with it, you should be fine. It's just a sprain. And just 2 days back, I went to the doctor and realized it was a fracture all along. And I had been doing yoga classes, leading yoga classes, roaming around, doing everything normally, with a little bit of pain. And it turns out it's actually a fracture, not even a hairline fracture, a proper fracture. So now I'm going to tell you more about what is the Saturn Ketu energy and what we need to do to live it perfectly. Like, how do you live this in the best way possible? So Saturn, Shanidev, right? Shanidev is quite feared by people because he puts in restrictions, he puts in limitations. And this is because that is his role. He wants you to do tapa. He wants you to do penance, and he does it by doing, by putting in limitations in you. And he wants, but it's not that he wants to punish you, but he wants you to grow in your patience, in your perseverance, in your discipline, and that's why he's creating these limitations. And I see Archana, my soul sister, who actually is a Saturn queen. She embodies all the qualities that Saturn wants us to embody. So hi, Archana there. Um, so this is what Saturn wants you to learn. In my case, there is a limitation. The restriction was created because I was going to have a Quanto yoga class with Ishan school, and there were many other things coming up which I can't do. And of course, in Navratri, I'm going to have to celebrate the goddess, not by dancing, but maybe through another way. So there is a limit. With my fracture, I cannot quite dance the same way. So there is a restriction in my own life. Now, what is Ketu? Ketu is actually the face of Shiva. Ketu will show you exactly what you're missing, what reality you're not seeing. And once he comes in your life, you have to face the reality. And if you don't, situations will keep getting created that you will have to face the reality. So in my case, I ignored the, I ignored the sprain, and I just went along with life, and finally I was forced to accept. So just look into your own lives. If you want, you can share if this kind of thing is happening in your life. So how do we go through this? Now, this whole thing is happening in Sagittarius zodiac, which is the zodiac of our ecosystems. Our ecosystems are, our office, maybe where we work, some organizations that we are involved in. It could be our extended family, our support system, schools. These are all Sagittarius places. So how do we deal with this? One thing is when this unexpected thing happens, the first thing we want to do is we want to react because the energy is just too much. It's sudden, it's unexpected, it is inconvenient, and we want to react. And that's just going to make it even more, it's going to make it really worse. You're going to get more entangled. The situation is going to explode. And really, it's going to be chaos all around. So the way to deal with it is, one, I'm going to use these tarot cards to explain it. And this is the tarot card from Osho Zen Tarot. And it is called Receptivity. And you see how this woman is completely open, is completely transparent. She has no agenda of her own. She is water-like, flowing with life. She doesn't have a head. She has a lotus flower. It is, she is just, our head contains all our desires, our expectations, how we want things to be, our ego, our arrogance. She doesn't have a head. She only has a blooming, she only has this blooming lotus, and she's completely receiving of this energy. She receives the shock in her body. She becomes this divine vessel. And this is what a Devi is. And someone says, Archana says, surrender. That's what it is. Just surrender to it. And then in this receiving, this is a feminine principle. And then the masculine principle comes in, which is observing. It is observing, I think, is listening with your whole body. You listen with your eyes, your ears, through your body, with your skin, with your smell. You just listen with your whole body. And so the way to go through this Saturn Ketu is to really observe, not react, but rather to observe. And if you really observe, what you will find is that there was some dimension, some reality that you had not seen before, and which you are able to see now. And this will only happen in deep receptivity, in deep surrender, in deep observation. In my very simple case, it was I didn't see this reality that I actually had a fracture. And this is a difficult energy because for me personally, what this brought up was my movements were restricted. But I remembered my dad, who actually has had a stroke and whose movements have been restricted for 20 years. I realized how people in these situations of restrictions might be feeling. I felt after I dealt with my pain, I grew more sensitive to other people's pain. And that is the beauty of certain triggers. I actually had there was a person in our commune who asked the question, why are we promoting negativity? Why are we saying that this is a difficult time? And the reason is, we don't want to put a positive spin or a negative spin to it. We just want people to be more real, because in living in reality, transformation is possible. Otherwise, transformation is not possible. I want to share this this tarot card, and this is by this is the Sacred India Tarot, and this is by Rohit Arya and Jane Addams. And in this case, there are 3 asuras. They are sons of Takshika, and they have asked a boon, which all the asuras ask, that they want to live forever. And they have done a lot of penance, a lot of tapasya for this. And even asuras do tapasya. Devas do tapasya, asuras also do tapasya. And devas will always ask for something that they might ask their desire, but they will surrender. But the asuras will insist that this is what they want, and whatever they ask will be for their own benefit. So asuras usually will ask for immortality, and I hope you can see this card. They will ask for immortality, that they want to live forever, and Brahma has to give them some boon. So he says that you can't you can't have that, but you can have something, any other boon. So they say that, okay, we want 3 palaces. 1 floating palace is one of silver, gold, and iron, and it should be able to. They should be able to travel anywhere with it, and it should be indestructible, except for once in 1,000 years, all these floating palaces will align, and at that 1 second, they are vulnerable. And that is the only time they can be killed. It doesn't mean that when they have come together and all these palaces have aligned, they're going to die. But there is a possibility. There is a vulnerability. That's the only time. And so yes. And so, this is a moment of vulnerability. So Shiva, who is actually, the consciousness of Shiva is of course infinite and so vast. But if you look at astrological planets, the consciousness of Shiva or Rudra is reflected in Ketu. And at this time, the asuras are in the illusion that they are indestructible. They cannot be destroyed. They're immortal. They are living in this illusion. And Shiva, he takes he takes in the energies of other devas, because that's how devas are. They are ready to accept other devas. They are ready to team up with other devas. And he takes that energy and he shoots the arrow of consciousness. And in that 1 second, all these 3 palaces and all these 3 asuras are destroyed. And this is necessary for their own evolution. They finally realize that they are not indestructible, they are not invincible. And this realization that no matter what they do, this realization has finally come to them. And this is the Ketu. And when Ketu happens, you can either cling on to what is getting destroyed, you can hold on to it, you cannot accept it, or you can just surrender that, yes, this was my mistake, and let me just give in. And then if you do that, you receive the blessing of Shiva. That arrow that Rudra has directed towards you, receive that. And that is where transformation happens. That is where evolution happens. And when that happens, a new dimension in your life will be unearthed. So thank you so much to Osho Zen and Tarot and Sacred India Tarot for letting me explain this. Now when we look at our horoscope, what we see is we see the different astrological planets. We see which houses they are placed in. And when I see an astrological, when I see a horoscope, what I see are different Devi and Devtas. I see Shani Dev and Mangal Dev, Mars and Jupiter, and they're all sitting in a certain position, a certain place, a certain house, a certain zodiac. And depending on where they are sitting, they are creating their own kshetram. They are creating their own vibrational field, their own mandir. And they are specifically there to teach you something. And sometimes it is a lesson you need to learn. And sometimes it is a gift that they are giving you about something that you have earned. So really, it's for you to go and understand what they are trying to tell you. And when you do that, you will see that your life will become a Deva life. And can you see me now? I don't know what happened, but just let me know if you can see me and I'll continue. Hi, I'll just give one more minute, just because that video got cut, and we are continuing here. So as I was saying, that is what a horoscope is. All these Devi Devtas, all these Shaktis, all these energies sitting there with their own specific vibrational field. And they are telling you what you need to learn, what you need to imbibe. Because with Saturn, you need to imbibe the patience, the perseverance, the sadhana, the discipline. With Ketu, what he really wants is for you to accept reality, not run away from reality, not react to reality. So these are the qualities that they want you to imbibe. And now we have Navratri coming. And Navratri is when the Mahashakti descends into the womb of the earth. So this is the time where everyone can experience the energy. And even our horoscope is, it is a matrix of Shaktis. So what Shivo, my Astro Guru, has done is, he has correlated every Mahashakti on every day of Navratri to a corresponding astrological planet. So we have an event coming up where we will be telling you the positions of all these Shaktis in your personal horoscope, so that you can understand it better through inquiry. You can activate it. If it is needed, you can harmonize it by becoming more aware. And finally, we will go into Bhakti, where we will go into sadhana and invoke Mahashakti for our own lives and for the earth. So I invite you all to this Shakti Sadhana program. It is going to be held on Facebook. And another thing before I ended, I wanted to say that if any of you want to learn astrology, we are having a free demo class for the Shakti Sadhana. We're going to have a free demo class on Facebook. And I will put the link in the comments below. And you're welcome to attend. We'll be talking about the houses of the horoscope and how it applies to you. And it will be held tomorrow at the same time on Facebook. So I invite you to our Shakti Sadhana program. I invite you to a free demo program. And I hope this information has been helpful. And it will help you to live this combination in the best possible way. And I just want to end with a lot of gratitude for tuning in to me. Thank you so much. Pranam. Quanto, Quanto, Quanto.